Good evening, Patriots, and welcome to the Douglas Ducote Show. You had many places to be tonight. You chose to be here with us, and for that, we are forever grateful. Wednesday nights is the Douglas and Marilyn Show. We got to come up with a title for this. I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but leave us something in the comments to tell us what you think we should call the Wednesday night show, where we will talk about anything from answering your questions to
not politics.
Things going on in our life, but not politics. But all that being said, we want to start off tonight talking a little bit about what's happening out in California. The video that you just saw in the beginning of tonight's show is actually from my old unit that I used to serve in. At that time, it was called G140th out of Stockton, California. It was an Army National Guard Chinook unit. And one of the things that we do with the Chinook helicopter, we did this when I was active duty as well as when I was in the National Guard, is help the forestry departments fight fires, forest fires. And we do that with what's called a Bambi bucket. And for the Chinook helicopter, we have a bucket that holds a little over 2,000 gallons of water. And we get activated, state active duty, to go and fight fires. And that's what's happening over there right now, is there is massive, massive fires that are taking place and burning down entire towns, like the whole town, the banks, the grocery stores, not just homes. It's a very, very sad situation. And, but because of the high winds that they've been having, the helicopters have not been able to fly. Today, the winds calmed down enough to get the air assets up and running. The California National Guard unit that I used to be in has got Chinook helicopters heading up there, which you just saw in the opening of this tonight's show. So the Chinook helicopter does a whole bunch of stuff besides just taking troops into combat. We do paratrop operations with airborne paratroopers, rescue missions, as well as fighting fires. So there's a quick video I want to show you of a little more about the Chinook helicopter. And the guy you're going to see is CW5 Joe Rosamond. Joe and I in the National Guard flew over 100+ hours together, fighting fires, as well as taking the Chinook to air shows, training exercises. And when we deployed to Operation Iraqi Freedom, he was the pilot assigned to my helicopter. And of course, I was the flight engineer. I had a crew chief, pilot, and a co-pilot. Joe Rosamond is a really, really good guy. Besides being a personal friend and somebody that I've served with and known for a long, long time, he's a great soldier. He's a great man. He's a great father. He's a great husband. And I've got nothing but good things to say about Joe. So I want to take you back real quick and show you a little video of him talking about the Chinook more. And he will also talk about the fire that he was in recently. I say recently, I think it was over a year ago, where they were fighting a fire. One thing we don't do is we don't fly at night when we're fighting fires. And that's because it's already dangerous having all these aircraft in the air at one time trying to put fire out. But trying to see them is difficult. So we paint on the side of the aircraft in big pink numbers so other aircraft can see us easier because we kind of blend in with the foliage. And so Joe, on this particular firefighting mission, found out that in a town there were a bunch of men, women, and children that were stranded. They couldn't go anywhere. Any direction they went, the fires were coming in and they were going to die, this group of people. So Joe took it upon himself and his crew to take the helicopter and fly at night and go to this area and push the aircraft to its ultimate limits. But they were able to land in a parking lot of a store and load up all these people and fly them to safety. and without Joe Rosenbaum making that decision to take the chance, and it was a chance, but to take that chance and to do that is, I hands down, folks, talk about a man of honor and a man that cares about his fellow citizens.
Heroic.
Yes. And he also got a medal for it. In fact, the whole crew did. It was awarded by the president. And so this was President Trump that awarded them the medal. They got invited to come to the White House. They got invited to go on different talk shows and so forth. But anyhow, here real quick, let's watch this little, about a 3-minute video.
My name is CW5 Joseph Rosamond. We're here at the Stockton Army Aviation Support Facility for the California Army National Guard. So the Chinook's super unique. One, you can see it just from when you walk up to it, right? It's the only tandem rotor helicopter that the Army has in its inventory, which makes it really well suited for moving stuff. Doesn't matter what that stuff is, right? It could be people, it could be cargo, it could be supplies, whatever you can put in it or sling underneath it, you can probably move it, right? The performance of the aircraft is really what stands out, right? Like, we call it high, hot, and heavy, dark, and dusty, right? So, and that's where when all those factors align, that's when you gotta be really careful. And this aircraft with the Honeywell engines, it hasn't left me in a position at all, really, that where through some pre-planning, obviously, some performance planning, that we've been able to carry everything we've ever put into it. When you consider the temperature range of that engine, it's pretty enormous, and as long as you stay within those limits are there for a reason, right? 10 minutes at this limit, 30 minutes at this other limit. Then I haven't had an engine fail. But when you're out there and the engines are on and you're actually operating, I've never had one hiccup, fail, or anything like that. So it's super reliable. That breeds a lot of confidence. And then when we do firefighting every single year, right, we're using that aircraft to its maximum capability, right? Yeah, so Mammoth Pools was really unique. That was the first time, through a series of other things that happened, found ourselves a lot heavier than we expected to be. It was hot because it was in the middle of a fire. It was dark, not necessarily dusty, but smoky, right? Lots of winds, and we were operating the aircraft at or just barely above what we should have been, right? And luckily that day we stayed within the structural capabilities of the aircraft, and the engines provided the power that they said that they would provide. And although we were right at the very edge, and I'm counting down seconds left of a time-limited operation in order to clear some mountains, and I remember looking down and going, man, if anything happens, if this engine hiccups, we're probably all dead, right? And but they performed just as advertised, really well, and it got us home.
So salute out Joe Rosenbaum. I love you, brother. And to all the men and women of the California Army National Guard, as well as the Air National Guard that is helping. And they're bringing in other assets of Army National Guard units from other states to come help them fight this fire. This isn't even fire season. So the fact that it's happening like it is,
It's amazing,
is really, really difficult. So our hats off to the brave men and women of the Army National Guard, the Air National Guard, as well as the Forestry Service. I've got a friend that I served in the Army with. Talked to him just last night, Grant Boussard, that watches the show. He's probably going to be in the chat tonight if he gets a chance. And I'm going to probably bring him on next week as a guest on the show to talk a little bit about the fire and what he currently does in his position with fighting these fires.
our show.
So, say again?
Our show?
No, I'm going to bring him on the Douglas Ducote
well,
Show.
we're doing our show.
Right. I don't know. So, okay. Anyhow,
I'm just saying.
enough of that. A lot of people are in harm's way tonight over there, and we wish them all the best. Yeah. Our hats are off to all of those out there, and lots of lives are going to be lost. Lots of pets are going to be lost.
Oh,
Farm animals. It's really, it's
I
a
saw
sad
a video of horses going down the road. They're trying
Yeah.
to save the horses.
Yeah, very, very, very difficult time. Anyhow, so with that, what are you looking at? You're looking at crabs?
I'm looking at a cookbook.
It's a cookbook on
Yeah.
how to cook crabs.
No,
you already know how to cook crabs.
I know, but I was looking. See what you meant to do? You did this. No, I'm looking at this really good cookbook. It's called Mosquito Supper Club. It's Louisiana.
Okay,
Yeah. And they're talking about crabs.
very cool.
And you know I love to eat crabs.
One of our neighbors,
Blue crabs. The
has a-
best people.
has a boat. He used to be a commercial fisherman,
Mhm.
but today he just basically does it for
Yes,
fun.
yeah.
And he's all the time bringing us over crabs. They go out in Lake Pontchartrain. They got a bunch of traps, and we love seafood down here, so that's a good thing.
And if you know anything about me, I love to cook, and so I'm always buying, reading, and cooking. But I'm always buying and reading new cookbooks.
And I love to eat.
So it works. The way to
Works.
a man's heart is through his stomach. I promise it worked for us.
Yeah, it did work for us.
Yeah. I made a banana pudding the other day.
She did. She made a great banana pudding. the
Yeah.
other day.
And, he did say that his mama makes the best banana pudding. And I know she's watching. So let me just tell you, she makes the best banana pudding. And I just hope I'm second.
You are. Mama's got you beat,
I know. I believe it.
but you are right there.
I believe it.
Just tweak it a little bit more.
I always do. I like to tweak.
Anyhow,
In a good
feel
way.
free to ask any questions in the chat, and we try and answer them. If you have anything you'd like to know about us, or talk about anything,
Gosh.
that's what this show is
Food is
about
so
on
good.
Wednesday.
And anything about cooking or food, I
I think she needs to do a cooking YouTube channel,
Oh,
strictly
no.
cooking.
So many people have done those though.
I know, but I think you can do really, really good, especially doing Southern cooking.
Louisiana,
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
different than just Southern.
Anyhow, so we got a lot of things coming up this year.
Do we?
Thankfully, we do. We're going on
No, but we don't.
we're going on a ski trip.
We are, but we're not skiing.
Yeah, we're not going to ski. We can't ski.
Well, I can ski, but I can't ski anymore because I broke my foot.
yeah,
We'll talk about that later.
she had
Not now.
Yeah,
We can't talk about it.
she broke her foot. That's all we can say about that.
But it's
so-
not broken now.
So she can't ski, and my back is so jacked up. I'd love to try it. I've never done it before.
But you
I've
know what?
water
We're-
skied, but
we're
I've never
gonna-
snow skied.
We're gonna hot tub, and we're gonna be in the snow. We're gonna make snow angels.
Yeah.
We're going to.
Can I pee in the snow and write my name?
I don't know. Can you?
I can.
I mean, good luck with that. I can't. It's not me. I'm not videoing.
Something tells me that John Arthur Lawrence would
You're
would
just
be
a little
right there
crazy.
next to me if we were going to
Oh.
pee in the snow and write our
Oh,
names.
I would not be there, and I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Don't eat yellow snow. That's what I got told whenever I was a little girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
JC Quick said, so she kicked Douglas in the back. He should listen better. Yeah. A lot of things kicked me in the back.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't her.
BM before Maryland.
Before Maryland's funny.
That's right.
Hey, look, Robert Allen says, name it Maryland's Southern Cuisine.
I don't know about that.
That's a great name.
That's a good cookbook.
Yeah. But we also need a name for this show that
We
we
need
do
a
on
name
Wednesday
for
night.
this show.
So one of the things I was going to do for tonight was I was going to download a bunch of the questions people are writing in now, email to ask questions for the show. And I did not get a chance to download those emails tonight. Too many other things were going on and trying to get other things accomplished so we could come on the air at 8 o'clock. But next week on Wednesday, we'll have those, and we have more by then. Questions that you have and that you've written in about, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Yes.
So,
Wait, here's another cookbook. This is y'all ready? Who's your mama? Are you Catholic? And can you make a roux?
who's your mama?
Are you Catholic?
Are you Catholic? And can you make a roux?
That's what that one
My
is.
mama's Pat.
No, that's the cookbook name.
I'm a recovering Catholic,
Stop.
and I can't cook, but I can eat the hell out of MREs. The Army taught me that.
Good. See, if he can eat MREs, I got him, y'all. I mean, I'm just letting you know that
Yeah.
I'll know. I don't want to eat MREs. I can eat better than that. It was okay. So here's a story. Okay. So we were about to evacuate for a hurricane, and Doug and Michael decided to go to the store to get provisions, right? They come home, and instead of anything I can cook with, they come home with canned stuff like what are the Vienna sausages and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is all this? I can't cook with that.
Spam.
It stayed in our cabinet for like ever. They never ate it. Do you want to eat this? No. Why? Because I cook better.
But one thing that did happen, thanks to the National Guard, they brought in a shit ton of MREs, cases of MREs.
How
And for a
much
while,
is
that's
that,
all we
by
had
the way?
to eat.
Could anybody tell me how much exactly is a shit ton? I'm just asking for a friend.
It's a lot.
Okay, just asking. Okay. All right.
It's 18 wheelers packed full of MREs.
Okay.
And the best one is
I saw
chicken
'em.
a la king.
Ugh. Whoa.
You didn't like that?
I don't eat any of that.
You ate it during the hurricane?
No, I did not.
What'd you eat?
I ate food that I cooked for you. You ate that whenever I was busy, like cleaning up and stuff, working the chainsaw. I was chainsawing. Chainsaw.
You were chainsawing?
I was chainsawing.
Disturbed Mannered says sea rats were great. I've had sea rats too. My daddy was in the Army. And so growing up as a kid, we had lots of sea rats around.
Is that the thing that they used to have in the tin can and you
Yes.
roll it up? See,
Yes.
I've seen movies.
Back then, they also came with a pack of cigarettes.
Well, thank goodness I didn't need those ever.
Yeah, yeah. What else is happening?
I think I want to grow a garden. I think I want lettuce and tomatoes in my garden.
Could you learn how to keep the plants alive that are in the house first?
Look, these are your plants.
And she said, buy the plants, I keep them alive.
I did not say that.
That's what you said. I think you
I said
wrote
I'll
it down
cook
too.
I didn't say that. It's funny though.
So where we're gonna put the garden?
I don't know. Outside. You can put it in a little garden shed. I don't know. But I'm thinking that I want a little something.
Well,
I want to be able to go outside. I want to pick a tomato. You know, there's nothing like the acidity of a fresh tomato just right off the plant. Seriously.
okay. Well, I'll say that about a watermelon.
Oh, okay. You can
Although
grow
it's
watermelons.
better to have them cold.
Go grow one.
I don't want to grow squash.
I don't want squash.
Anything but squash.
I don't want squash.
Growing up as a kid, my daddy always had a
I
garden.
like squash.
We had a garden in the
ever eat
backyard,
it, so I can't cook it.
and it was my job to make sure no grass grew in it.
Well, then
So-
why do you say that you don't know how to do it then?
Listen-
if you know how.
I'm going to tell you why.
Oh my gosh. he's
My
got a
job
story.
was to get down on my hands and knees.
You
and-
gotten
and
on your hands
pick-
and knees.
Pick individual grass out of 5 or 6 rows of garden throughout the entire backyard.
Was that your punishment?
No,
Did
that
you
was
get in
just that
trouble?
was my job.
You weren't in trouble for that?
No, it wasn't a
God,
punishment thing. It was, hey, we're going to build this garden and we're going to grow stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, that's great. And so I helped my daddy do all this. And then next thing I know, I'm in charge of making sure it gets watered, make sure there's no grass in it. And so that was an experience that taught me I don't want to garden anymore.
I grew a garden my whole life whenever I was growing up.
But you
My
can grow one here.
daddy had one.
I'm just
My
not going
aunt,
to
my
weed eat it.
grandma, everybody. Good. I don't want you to weed eat it because if you weed eat it, it'll all be like.
What about those gardens that you can have indoors?
Isn't that a good idea? And we can have like a plant grower thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I can do that.
Yeah. We could do that.
Okay. Y'all heard it. He said yes.
Timothy.
Potatoes. Yes.
Putzke. How you pronounce that?
Husky.
Timothy says, did you get to fly in a MD 500? I did not.
But it wasn't pink.
I
The
started
pink
out.
was just the letters they put on it.
Yeah, just the letters we put
It
on the
wasn't
side.
pink.
I started off in the UH-1 Huey helicopter, and then they phased those out, and then I was on Chinooks for the rest of my Army career. And then I did a 3-year stint in the Air National Guard in a rescue unit, the 129th Rescue Unit up in California, out of Moffett. Shout out to the 129th. Some of those people are watching tonight. And I was a crew chief on the MH-60G, which is basically, it's an Army Black Hawk. And except it's got a refueling boom on it. So any rescues out at sea on ships that the Coast Guard couldn't get to because they don't have aerial refueling capability. So they have a limit of how far out they can go and how long they can stay on station before they have to turn around and get back or run out of fuel. So we, on the other hand, with the HH-60G, when we would launch out to go rescue somebody several hundred miles or even 1,000 miles out in the ocean, along with us came a C-130 tanker with a drogue and a hose that came off of a pod on the wing. And we just plugged that probe right into the back of it and get our fuel.
Probe and plug in a probe.
I plugged in a probe. Yeah, it's like, so here's.
I don't want to see it.
Here's the thing coming off the back of the here's the thing coming off the back of the C-130, and here's our probe, and we're trying to get in it, and they're both are doing this. Yeah, oh, exactly. And then finally you get in there, and you fill up with fuel.
Not okay. It seems like this is not an R-rated show. Stop it.
I'm talking about gas.
What if we stuff some mushrooms or some onions? Look at those.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't know if I want to stuff that. GGAB in 1963, my older brother was a load master on the C-130. That's very, very cool.
Very cool.
My dad also served in the Air National Guard after he came off active duty Army. In the Army, he was in the 20th Special Forces Group. And then when he went into the Air Guard, he became a load master on the C-124 Globemaster aircraft. And I remember one time asking my dad, why did you, go from Special Forces to aviation? And he said, because I needed to learn a trade other than killing people. And the Air Force had that option. So, yeah, true story. So thank you for your service, GGAB 1963. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Enough corruption. Hey, Doug. Hey, brother. How's it going? We're doing good. They're burning down California. Yes, they are. I don't know how the fire started, but we'll figure it out soon enough. Bruce says, C-124 is old shaky. Yes, indeed. If you have Facebook, you can go look up the Facebook group C-124 Old Shaky. And I think it's C-124 Globemaster Old Shaky. And that is my group. And join it, and you can see it's all basically old C-124 guys that used to be crew chiefs and flight engineers and load masters and pilots and co-pilots and maintenance people. It's all C-124 related. And people upload videos and pictures of the aircraft that they served on. And it's a really, really cool Facebook page.
Cool Facebook page.
Check it out if you get the chance to, if you're on Facebook.
That's right.
Speaking of Facebook, how many times have I been in Facebook jail?
More times than I know. at one time I took myself off of being your wife because I was like, no, that's real. Maybe several times. I might have blocked you a few times. There's some of the things that you say that I go, Doug, not everything he does I approve of. That's true. And I don't have the stamp of approval on your head. You're
Most
your
of
own
the things
man.
that
You do your own thing.
most of the things that I suggest, when I make a suggestion about anything around the house,
The answer is no.
the first thing out of her mouth as soon as I'm finished talking is no.
Yeah. And then I have
And
to
then-
think about it.
Then about an hour later, typically she comes to me and says, what you were talking about earlier? And I said, that's not a good idea. Well, and I said, no, you didn't say that's not a good idea. You said no.
Yeah.
And then she goes,
Let's think about it a little
I
bit
think
more.
it's a good idea.
Yeah, well,
and
it's
you
not
should
a
go ahead
good
and do
idea.
it.
I don't usually say a good idea, and you know that. Usually I say, okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so I usually say, how long do I have to put up with this if he does do it? And can I live with it for that long? Okay, I guess I can. And then I let him have whatever it is. Or I say, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's true.
Ross says, how many years back has your family been in the Army military service?
Oh.
Long time. My family goes back to the Civil War.
My family goes back to Charlemagne, 1200s.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah. And your daddy served in the
Daddy
Army.
served. Uncle served.
My dad
cousin
served. My uncle served in World War II. I have an uncle that served in Vietnam.
My
bunch of cousins that
grandfather served. And my grandfather was a medical person during the war. And yeah.
And you have a cousin that's also
I have a cousin.
retired Air Force.
Retired Air Force.
That did a lot of cool shit.
He did a lot of cool shit. He is definitely an overachiever. And,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, most of our family are overachievers. And he
Yeah.
is military overachiever and very good person.
So yesterday was our anniversary,
Anniversary.
our wedding anniversary.
It was good. And he really showed up and showed out, y'all. He gave me beautiful white tulips, gorgeous, and a fire pit, 2 fire pits, one that was propane in the backyard and one that I can put wood in and we can grill over or do something like that.
Yeah. And when we're going to keep the one that's gas, we can light immediately because it's got a tank underneath it and you just
That's
turn
what
it
you do
off,
with gas.
hit the button and boom, it comes up. So what I like about that is if the FBI comes knocking down the door again, I can run out back with anything we need to burn and throw it in that pit right
We
away.
don't have anything to burn. Don't worry. Don't let him fool y'all. We don't have anything to burn.
Yeah, we don't have anything to burn.
No, we're fine.
Thank y'all for all the happy anniversary.
Oh, that's so
wishes.
sweet.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. We've been together 11 years and married 8.
Yeah.
And the happiest 11 years I've ever had. There's only a handful of times that we've had true arguments.
Yeah.
But we got through them.
You want to tell them about the one argument that?
The time you told me to hold my ass,
Yeah.
he was sorry.
We were just dating. I think we've been dating maybe not even a year. And she was at my house.
A year
I don't
and a
remember.
couple of months.
I have no idea what happened.
Maybe just a few months. Maybe no. I think it was our first year. I think it was
I think it
our
was
first
too.
year. And yeah.
We got in an argument and I just said,
He
you know,
said-
haul your ass. Get on out of here.
And I said, that's the biggest mistake you ever. And I called him up on the way home and I said,
Oh, plus before that, she went to my mom and dad's house.
I did.
Who loved her and were like,
Yes.
this is the girl for you, dude.
I think it was the first year. I think it's during the
She
first
went over
year,
there
'cause
and
I
said,
barely knew him.
Your
I
son
said,
just broke up with me.
and I'm sorry, and it's the worst mistake he's ever made because he's never had somebody as great as me. And I told him that.
That is
And they
exactly
agreed.
true.
They agreed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I called and I left a message and I said, that's the dumbest thing you ever did with me, without me.
Yep.
with me. What's that? And you'll never find anybody that'll love you like I do. And a few days later, he called me up and he said, "Do you want to go to Florida? To go have a trip?" I said, "Well, I don't want to live like that."
Yeah. So went to Florida, had a good time.
He apologized a lot.
Oh yeah. John says, Doug, what exactly was your MOS in the Army and
wait,
the
you
Guard?
didn't finish the story. So then for a long time, you had that recording on your phone.
Oh. So this is how I figured out. This is how I knew I'd made a mistake. She'd called and left a message on my phone, and I saw it was her. And I'm like, I'm not answering that. I'm done with this silly shit. And she could holler.
I really didn't do anything, by the way. Just letting y'all know, nothing. I did nothing wrong.
I mean, something happened.
I know what happened, but nothing that I did was wrong.
So anyhow, I get this voicemail. It was about a minute long.
Yeah.
And by the time I was done listening to it, I was like, man, this woman really loves me. I think I'm messing up here. So I called her up and apologized and said, let's go to Florida and celebrate. We're back together.
That's not exactly how it went.
I think that's exactly how it went.
No, it's not.
Anyhow, to answer your question, John.
And then you listened to it. You had a recording for a long time. And every time you thought about doing something stupid, you listened to it.
John, I'd answer your question, but.
Okay, go ahead and say it. Go ahead. That's true, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
67 uniform. Now I think it's called 15 uniform today. Mm-hmm. And 67 November was my secondary, which I went through the OGT program for. That was for the Huey. And I also did 3 years in the military police in the National Guard while waiting to go to get back into helicopters again. Because when I left active duty Army, went out to California, wanted to join the Chinook unit out there, they didn't have anything available for flight engineers. And so I figured, all right, I'll wait you out. And I did. And I went and joined the Army Guard 670th Military Police Company, and they sent me to the MP school and back. And so right at 3 years with them when a slot became available. And so, and actually that slot was not on Chinooks. That was to go into the Air Guard and fly on the MH-60Gs. And then 3 years after serving in the Air Guard on that is when Stockton opened up a flight engineer position, and off I went. Unit had never, ever deployed to combat in its entire history. And I thought, after 3 combat tours, this is great. I will never have to go through that shit again. And I'll be damned if we didn't get activated for Operation Iraqi Freedom. And off I went in a Guard unit that had never been to combat before. But we could put out some fires with that Chinook.
Calling the fire.
And I keep the home fires burning here. They call me the fireman. That's my name. Jeez.
Crazy.
Oh, let's see. What else we got going on here?
We
Let's
are
scroll back
happy.
down here. We're very happy. What was the sidearm of the MP that you were in? Was it the M9 when you were there? It was the Beretta 9mm, which is also the same thing we had in aviation. We carried in our survival vest a Beretta 9mm. And then on the Chinook, we also had M60 machine guns that mounted on the cabin door, the forward left window, and on the ramp. So when you're going into a hot LZ with the Chinook, the flight engineer, myself, the crew chiefs, and we always have a gunner on board as well, man those guns to make sure we're not going to get shot down. Or at least that's how it's supposed to work.
Wait, let me look. I'm trying to get the. I was polishing this badass tattoo up there. Sorry.
What badass tattoo. Why don't you get a tattoo?
It's not happening.
Why not?
Because there's nothing that I want to live with on my body.
How about me? Put my name, Douglas.
Well, get it.
We said we're together forever.
Do you have my name on your body?
I put my, let's go get tattoos together. I'll put, we do like some kind of thing that says
Dumb
Douglas and
idea.
Marilyn and our wedding date.
Dumb idea. Not happening.
That's because when the day comes that I die, she wants to remarry.
I don't know about that. I don't think I want to take care of anybody else. I think I'm done.
Wait a minute, you want to take care of anybody
I'm
else?
done after you.
Like, what do you mean take care of you? Take care of me?
I take
What
care
what,
of you.
what do you do to take care of me?
Oh, you don't want to push that button.
This woman is a rock star. She can do everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl. That's what I say
Venture
all the
17 says bad subject. Bruce Cope says I have 2 U.S. Marine Corps tats, and that is it for me. When I got my first tattoo, I got my a tribute to my brother who passed away in 2000 on my arm, on my left arm, and then I said it was so painful. I was like, I will never do this again. It was very difficult to get through, and within a year, I was like, I'm ready for another one. So then I got my first combat patch, which was the 18th Airborne Corps on my right shoulder. And
It's kind of
that's been
badass.
years,
It's a good one.
and I'm ready to get another one.
I know.
I want to get my aviation wings, maybe on my chest
Okay.
or across my back or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You want somebody?
I'm thinking about even getting sleeves where, get like the American flag.
You got a
and-
sleeve. It's
and-
right here. I don't know about that.
Well, you got anything against tattoos? Obviously not. You married me.
I did marry you.
Double D tattoo. That's a not here, says Kevin G. How about WD?
Williams Ducote.
WDD.
WD.
WD.
I know. I like it. But no, I'm not going to get one. I'm not going to get a tattoo. I'm not.
That's what they all say. My dad
Who is
never got a
they?
tattoo.
Who is they?
Women like you.
Okay. I'm just saying. It's just me. It's just me. I'm just a girl.
Before her, I hung out at Waffle House a lot.
Stop it. Stop it. Y'all all heard this. So good. Yeah. I'm just really glad that I came along, rescued him. He rescued me too, because
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody.
Okay, how about y'all want to hear about our wedding?
No, we'll do that another time. It's already almost time.
Oh, I lost track of time. It's 8:47.
I know. It's when you're having fun.
So next week we talk about our wedding.
Okay.
Our wedding and our honeymoon. Very, very interesting story.
Very interesting story.
It involves
No, don't spoil it.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. We have to come up with a name.
We need a name for the Wednesday night show.
Got a name because we got to cover up that Douglas Ducote show back there, baby, and all the.
Well, no, it's still the Douglas Ducote
No,
show.
we'll do
We're
it
just
a
doing
different.
a
No,
segment
we're not.
of
No, this is going to be the stuff, whatever. You're going to have to deal it and suck it up.
you want me to get one that says
I don't know. It may not be in here. We may have to do it in the other room. We do it in the kitchen. We're going to do it somewhere different.
we do it in the living room.
We do it in the living room. We
Just
just
hanging
somewhere
out on
else.
the couch.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Got to do it where we can have good light. I don't know. We'll do it. We'll think about something. I thought about doing some TikToks. Because
I'm
TikTok
banned.
is not going to be.
I'm banned for life
Yeah,
on
but
TikTok.
I'm not. And then then see, I won't have to worry about him doing something dumb on it.
But that's the thing that's so messed up.
You didn't even do anything wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything
The video
wrong.
that I put on YouTube and Rumble that talked about an X that talked about the drones, and I said it could possibly be China that's behind these drones because we have actually, the FBI has arrested some people that were flying, they're Chinese nationals that were flying drones around our military bases. And TikTok banned me for life. And they're run by who? China.
You know, at some point they said that aliens didn't exist too.
I'm the product of an alien.
You know what?
My parents came from another planet out of our solar system.
You and Jeevy.
Yeah, me and Jeevy.
Our dog.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, thanks for joining us tonight, everyone.
Come here, Jeevy.
We sure do appreciate it. Is she right there?
No.
No? All right.
I thought I'd pick her up because I think she's cute.
Yeah.
We'll do it next time.
Yeah. What about Patches? You think Patches is cute?
No.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Patches, y'all. Patches needs help. Patches needs to go to therapy.
Patches needs to go to therapy.
Patches needs help.
Patches had a problem potty training.
Patches pees on my dresser. True story. And I had to take all my clothes out of that dresser, and I had to put a barrier up, and we're constantly having to change that barrier. And y'all, we're going to have to redo our floors in our house in that area because it's messed up the wood floors there.
Yeah.
And y'all, I don't know if y'all know how expensive that stuff is to redo wooden floors. Doug doesn't know yet.
Well,
He gets to pay for it because it's not coming out of my part.
you know, stranger things have happened in life.
I know. I'm just saying that it's sad that you won't get your new boat.
Well, I got a new boat
Your other new boat.
that she bought.
No. We work together. Okay, y'all. Seriously, somebody tell me how to get this dog to stop peeing in the house. Seriously. Because we've put everything. We've put all
Crate
the
training,
stuff.
everything.
We've done everything. We've sprayed the stuff. You know what we really need to do is put a little shot collar.
Look, crate training. I let him go from the crate to the door. Okay, Patches, let's go potty. And on the way to the door, he stops and cocks a leg on the freaking column and separates
Did
the
he
dining
really?
room. Yeah, he did. From
Oh,
the dining room to the
no. You know what else? Okay. So seriously, my husband, y'all, he needs help with this.
what?
With this dog. Because I'm not helping. I don't know.
Well, she doesn't like the fact that he growls,
growls
every
at
now and
me.
then. Well, if you treat him the way you treat me, pet him often, like you pet me, like you scratch my back when we're watching, I don't know, Sons of Anarchy.
That is a good show. I was watching it for like the third time. It's good.
And if you did that with Patches, he wouldn't growl at you.
I know.
Anyhow, folks, thanks for joining us. We're going to do this every Wednesday. We'll get more. We need to find out a name for the Wednesday night show.
Mm-hmm.
And
We have to have more fun.
one of the things we're going to do is we're going to definitely download your questions that you're sending to email. And you can send that to Douglas at douglasducote.com or Marilyn at douglasducote.com for that matter. But make sure you CC me if you send it to her so I see what the question is so she doesn't like surprise me in the middle of the show.
Oh, I'd
like,
love
what
to surprise
the
him.
hell
Let me
was that?
surprise him. Let me surprise him. Because I do have but nobody ever writes a thing to me.
Well,
Nobody ever does that.
anyhow,
never write emails to me. It's all for you, baby.
let's keep all those out there in California, regardless of the liberal
Yes.
things, and the far
This
left
doesn't have
Democrat
anything to
things.
do with that.
This is, there are Republicans and conservatives that live out there. I know. I work with them. I serve with them.
That's right.
Whether it's in the National Guard or when I was in law enforcement at San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. I have family that lives out there, and none of my family or friends are in harm's way other than my National Guard brothers and sisters that are deploying from Stockton up or down to LA for these fires.
That's right.
So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, our first responders, their families, our angel families, our blue and gold star families, and our country. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless each and every one of you. And may God continue to bless our wonderful marriage.
Yes. And please get Patches to pee in the right place.
Do we have to end the show with Patches peeing?
Well, we can end it with something else. I made good spaghetti last night. We're going to have spaghetti. We're going to have leftovers tonight.
Already ate.
He's going to not eat. Maybe you don't need your brownies either.
I stopped on the way home tonight and at
What did you do?
Caesar's Steakhouse and had steak and lobster.
Doug. Oh. Those dogs, they go, oh, oh.
Yeah. Anyhow,
It was fun, guys.
thank you, everyone. And I will see you on tomorrow night for the Douglas Ducote Show, where we will talk about politics and people we send to Washington, D.C. that are freaking screwing shit up left and right. Boy, it's going to be a great show tomorrow night.
How about that Gulf of America?
Gulf of America instead of Gulf of Mexico. Trump's going to change the name of the Gulf.
Greenland. And
We might buy Canada too.
51st, 52nd.
All right, everybody. Take care. God bless you. Thanks for joining us tonight.